Tune in to BBOXradio.com. This is Shanty Town with Tony Conquer, where we do this every Thursday night, 10 p.m. to midnight. Sweet reggae music vibes each and every time. Got a very special guest on the line right now. This is Logan from Katchafire. Wagwan.
Greetings, brother.
Katchafire, coming from New Zealand, a true testament to the spread of reggae culture worldwide, celebrating 20 years in the game. Is that right? This year has been 20 years?
Yeah, 21 actually this year.
Wow, okay. And the new album has just come out. Legacy has come out this month, right?
Yes, June 1st we dropped the album just before we came on tour.
Charted on iTunes like right out the gate, right? Charted on Billboard right out the gate. Is that correct?
It did. We did very well there. You know, just testament to the fans and everybody kind of waiting on the fifth studio album from us. I think it was a little bit between albums, 5-6 years or something. So you know, we were excited to get it out.
Now, what kind of stuff do you reflect on in the span of that time, in the span of 21 years of being in a band? What was it like in the early days, and what's changed about it?
You know, I think, you know, like everything, it was a lot harder, a lot less money around in the early days. It kind of takes a little bit more of sacrifice. And we were younger, so it was easier. But I think when I reflect back on it, for the most part, like for 15, 16 years, we had the same team, like my pops and a couple of those the other boys that have left now, and we were, you know, we were a family for 14 years, and we still are a family, you know, 21 years going strong, and you know, I think the band has gone from strength to strength, and we've been able to kind of tick goals off and adjust goals as we go along the way. But that's one thing that kind of stands out is brotherhood and camaraderie, because you know that's a big thing that you need on the road, and a lot of bands kind of don't, you know, reach kind of any kind of potential because they just can't, you know, stand being with each other after a while. So we're really proud of that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, does it help that you and Jordan are family, and that kind of helps with that, or does it not? Of course, not
yeah. Yet? Of course, yeah. The family ethic that we have is not just between me and my brother. It's also between, you know, all the other members. You know, I also have Leon Davey, who married my sister, so he's a brother-in-law, and my pops, who was in the band, and every other member in the band. We have a family, we have a whānau atmosphere, and that kind of comes from our upbringing and our culture and our values, yeah.
Now I'm curious about just the vibes in general in New Zealand, because I Katchafire, it's a very particular audience. I would say like a festival kind of vibe, like or like a big reggae band sound kind of vibe, as opposed to like, I don't know, like here in New York, we're very sound system based, and that has a lot of history. Is there any type of like sound system culture in New Zealand?
There is. It's kind of small. New Zealand's kind of always been like quite Mali centric, you know. There is a scene there, but for the most part, for most people's idea of reggae, it has been Bob Marley, you know, UB40, kind of Black Kahuru, and a little bit of the Roots. But you know, it's only 4 million people there. You know, there's the scene now is kind of branched out into island reggae, and I think the influence of melodic reggae has always stayed with us. Also sort of conscious messages is, you know, has stayed with it. You know, Maori people are very conscious.
Yeah.
And yeah, we like singing, we like harmonies and blending vocals and like horns and the big band, like you mentioned. It's all quite musical, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed about Katchafire. A lot of your tunes are very, very melodic, you know. And there is that influence, like you know, you have your Wailers and your Steel Pulse and your Black Uhuru and you know whatever you know type of band that has you know kind of popularized reggae music throughout the world. But you know, you guys still have like a style of your own, same way, you know, like it's a bit modernized, you know. But yeah, like you said, the melodic influence is you know the melodic aesthetic of it, you know, is definitely in there. Now you guys are currently on a US tour. This is definitely not your first tour in the US, right?
No, it is not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, of course not. But I mean,
we've gone from doing van tours to graduated to bus tours. And hopefully we'll get to airplane tours one day.
Of course, man. But yeah, I mean, what is your? I asked the same question to Earthcry because I'm trying to gauge the foreign perspective here of the United States because of the current situation that we're in. Now, what's your impression of the United States in this current climate? Is it different compared to the earlier days touring or earlier tours? Or what's the vibe out there? Are you?
Yeah, I think people are kind of really quite scared here. You know, seems to be a lot of scaremongering on TV. Like, you know, New Zealand's got its fair share of things happening in politics too, but I don't know. We're just sort of, you know, the whole Trump thing was crazy to see, and you know. I have an opinion, but I don't live here really, you know, but I think, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, I'd like to think, you know, people kind of are a bit more conscious and a bit more woke, but I don't think that's the case, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, that's what concerns me.
Yeah. You know, and again, same applies back home as well. It's becoming more globalized.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing, you know, people coming in and taking over water wells and depleting them and promising jobs, and so, you know, we're dealing with a lot of our own kind of things and problems, and it's sort of disheartening, sort of seeing all things going on here and kind of the leaders of the free world, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I guess, you know, if you want to make change, you got to sort of start in your own backyard, and you know.
Absolutely, and you folks are contributing to that. You know, spreading the love worldwide. You know, that's music. Music is an important thing. Music is a healing. You know, music is a uniting force. You know.
We feel like that. We feel like we're pushing love out there, you know. I feel my job is one of the most amazing jobs in the world. You know, I get to go around the place making people feel better, you know, and that's what we aim to do, you know.
You mentioned earlier about you know the Maori culture, you know, and reggae has always been the universal genre for marginalized people, oppressed people in Latin America, Asia, Africa. You know, even in impoverished parts of Europe, it's come to be like this kind of like signifier of you know people that want to embrace love and like want to change and, you know, come together. You know, what does reggae mean to the Pacific Islander community, like in particular in you know the Maori culture, you know, the colonized, the indigenous, you know, community?
Yeah, again, I think Mali was a big voice, you know. We have a similar plight to Jamaica, you know. Britain came in and sort of, you know, corded it up, and at home anyways confiscated a lot of the land, imposed their laws, imposed their wills, you know, and so we like to sort of, you know, land confiscation is a big one, you know. Only 150 years ago, you know, 80%, 90% was New Zealand was never owned by Māori, but the tribes and stuff, they called it mana whenua, so it was the land value. You never owned the land because the land was your mother.
Yeah.
No, you had guardianship over it and a responsibility to it, which was kind of an ownership. Your tribe, this was all the land from the highest point, all the land you could see, and beyond to the next tribe's land was your tribe's land. But this whole notion of sort of carving it up and each sort of little plot having different value and stuff was new, and they did what they did all over the world, and what they were good at, and so I think we identify with a lot of his messages, and that's why New Zealand is so Mali centric, and so we have an affinity for the music, and we feel like he was talking directly to us as freedom fighters, as people fighting for what was rightfully ours, and also we are a very loving and welcoming people. I mean, to welcome the British in first and foremost, and to recognize their religions and things, we took to them pretty quick, and welcomed them in, and that's what they did, and I think part of our message is to love one another regardless, and identify the faults without guilt. A lot of people can't talk about these things, because they might, even they're not even thinking if they're ancestors. It's just a inherent racial thing. They can't imagine any white people, if I may say that, doing things like that, and it's just educating people with history, because you have to kind of recognize to heal, to move forward. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah, and it doesn't do any good to turn a blind eye to what happened. I mean, America's been doing that for years and years and years, and we still can't acknowledge it. We still can't come to terms with what we've done.
Yeah. So once that's been acknowledged, then the healing can take place. And that's where we believe that we can exist together. As New Zealanders, but also as universal people. We're all from different tribes, from different races, but puss and dog can get together. What's wrong with you and me, my brother?
Mm-hmm. I will talk about the music now. The new album, Legacy. What's different about this album? How have you guys grown musically?
Yeah, I think you can hear it when you listen to the albums. This is a lot more slicker, a bit more well produced. We definitely took our time. We've always kind of been about quality over quantity. But I think the three writers, we took a little bit of a different approach, in the sense that the drummer didn't play on every song, or the bass player didn't play on every song. Sometimes we used different friends and different musicians and different producers that had ideas on the spot. The way this album was recorded was all around the world on sort of days off and any downtime we had, which was an extension on how we did on the road again. But yeah, it was a lot more international. We used some producers. There's a first female ever to feature on this record. There's a lot of changes, but the one thing that we try and always do is put our best work out. And I'm very proud, and we worked hard over the last sort of 4 years actually to get this to the forefront.
4 years. It was a four-year long process altogether.
Well, yeah, I think, you could even go longer. We haven't put out an album for 6 years, I believe.
My gosh.
And, I think some of the songs might have even been as old as that. But just really pushing kind of we tour a lot, man. We tour more than half 6 to 8 months of the year. And the last thing you feel like doing is going home and recording an album. But we've actually enjoyed finishing this album up over the last year or so. I feel like the boys have kind of got back into the rhythm and have like a zest for it again,
Yeah, that sounds great. I've been listening to it all afternoon, and the fact that you said that it took that long to put it all together, it impresses me even more because you have producers from Jamaica, United States, New Zealand. And you've linked with so many different people and worked on different parts of this at different times, but it sounds so cohesive. It sounds like it was like all recorded in one session. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, we try to definitely kind of. There was a few little re-records, drums especially, just to sort of match stuff up, and
okay.
We work with some really talented people too, who are doing some amazing stuff, just in the box too. So yeah, we if it sounds funny to our ears, we'll do it again,
as it should be, Yeah. I feel like a lot of. It's just very easy to put things out nowadays. Putting things on SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever. The output is just so easy, and there's no filter process. There's no quality control really. So the fact that you fellas took 4 years and change to get it out there and wouldn't have it ready till you felt it was ready is impressive in itself.
Yeah, we've always been about that. That quality life, Yeah, I think we do have a high standard, and there's 3 writers in the band, and we all kind of hold each other to that standard. Obviously we're all trying to get as much our songs on an album as possible, but us and our label and our management kind of work together in choosing what songs will get recorded and hopefully make the album. Not all of them do, but yeah, we've been talking about maybe releasing an album soon with all the songs that didn't make albums.
Those are usually the best albums.
yeah. That's something probably to look forward to.
So you're on this tour in the United States. How many cities do you have left to play? How many dates do you have left?
Oh my goodness! I think we had 38 dates, not counting Hawaii. Or maybe it is counting Hawaii. I think we've done 8 of them.
Wow. Okay, so you're just getting started.
We're just getting started. We're just in the 2nd week.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, God bless. Yeah, man. People check out Katchafire. That's Katchafire with a K. And please, if you want to check out Katchafire, they're probably playing in a city near you very soon this summer. So
all the details on the Katchafire official Facebook or Instagram. Come and check us out. Give us a like.
We're gonna get into 100 and Fire in the Trenches off this new album, Legacy, from Katchafire. Logan, it's been a joy to speak with you.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Absolutely.
Bless up for your support.
Absolutely, and blessed love and guidance and protection on this tour, and
okay.
Anywhere else you go in this world, catch a fire to the world.
Yes, push that love out. Push that love always. Respect, my man.